Okay, so here we are loaded up in Whitehorse. Click the Ready to Fly button. Wait for the launcher to initialize itself. There we go. Open up Task Manager just to confirm. CSS launcher and gate.exe are there. So now what we'll do is we'll just do we'll try and do an APU start on the engine. So we'll go battery on. We'll go the left-hand inner fuel pump on. Do our fire test. It's good. Do a quick recall. That all looks fine. And we got the fuel pumps on. Okay, now the APU should start spooling up. You hear that on the exterior view. The APU does sound really good. It does sound like close enough to the real thing. It's a very hard sound to model, just due to the fact how loud the 737 Classic APU is. I know from experience. Anyways, got it spooling. It's coming up. While that's happening, let's turn on some of this other stuff. Oh, and we'll lock the flight deck door as well. Just locked there. Can ignore that. Okay, the APU gen is on. Swap that to battery, swap that to APU gen. This fuel pump, despite the fact that it's working because the APU is on, shows low pressure for some reason. Can't get that to go away. If I turn on this fuel pump, it works. So, I don't know. And I've reinstalled and uninstalled this aircraft multiple times, and I even did a full launcher. I updated my Windows, my antivirus is off and everything. I got both executables that need to be on. Anyways, we'll go and line the IRSs. Both are on a line. Turn on the MCDU. It does this, which is just very awkward. The thing does flicker in real life. You notice it when you're flying jump. Or even just sitting in the cockpit on the ground. They flicker a little bit. Like they're old CRTs, they do that. But they don't flicker white and green, and they don't flicker with this much variety. Or like this quickly, I guess. So we see YXY. No, just enter that in. I'll just chuck it at the beginning of the route. Turn on our panel lights all the way bright. Turn on our PFD, our map, our panel here, and FO side. We'll just set a squawk in case it decides to work all of a sudden and I can actually do my flight. Recall is fine and all that. Yeah, still no pressure in that fuel pump. Okay, so we got 1 minute left on the IRS. Yaw damper off. Fuel pumps, we'll just turn them all on. And as you can see, the left-hand side still showing low pressure despite the fact that there's 1,000 pounds of fuel in there. And then the right-hand side is working. These are good. Galley power can come on. The APU is good. Oh, oops. All these are good. We'll turn on the fasten seatbelt sign. I've always used both for engine start on any aircraft, whether it's the IXCG, PMDG, Zibo, anything. So, and I know those are NGs apart from the IXCG, but it should still work. It works in the real thing, so I'm not sure why it wouldn't work here, but I also have tried ignition right and ignition left. Turn on the electric hydraulic pumps. The lights are good for now. Turn on the APU bleed. We'll just leave the packs off. We'll turn the isolation valve to auto. We'll turn the recirc fan. We'll actually leave it off. We'll turn the engine bleeds off too, as it gives us a bit more air pressure. I'll pressurize, I guess, later. Turn on the anti-collision light. And we should be good to start here. In theory. Let's go ahead and flip engine to start number 2 to ground. As you can see, it is spooling. It's taking its time, which the real aircraft does do. And 24, 25%. Go ahead and introduce fuel. And the funny part is this should be feeding from the pumps that says they're on, but it's obviously not, because the second I introduce fuel, it decides to not work. And for some reason on this startup, it doesn't want to start doing all the weird flashy stuff that it was, but still, it's just stuck on 26% and 2. And the engine's spinning a little bit there, but there's no noise coming out of it or anything. Like, it's obviously not actually starting like the gauge would present it as doing. Turn on the recirc fan. That does nothing. And turn that off. All that stuff's on. The odd ampere, I guess I forgot to turn that on. Oops. But that shouldn't affect the engine start at all. We got the APU gen set on there. We are getting power out of it. We've got DC and AC coming from the battery. Battery's on. The galley power's on, which shouldn't affect anything. None of this stuff needs to be on, unless I'm missing something, but I don't think so. Like, all of our flows are good. The only thing that's weird, these pumps are on, and they're not on. And there's obviously no fuel flow to the engines, because the second I introduced fuel at the right end 2 into engine number 2, it stalls out. So let's go ahead and cancel out that fuel, turn off the starter, and you'll see it rolls back. Like, everything else seems to work, and it's modeled well, it's textured well. I like, it looks like it would be a hell of a lot of fun to fly if this fucking thing would start for me. Excuse my language. But let's go ahead and start number 1, or try to start number 1, which it also won't start. It probably shouldn't be spooling. The crossfeed valve isn't open. Well, I don't think that is actually how it works. But anyways, the fuel pumps are showing low pressure, but it's still going. So wait till it gets up to 25% N2. Click that introduce fuel. And once again, it's just going to stall out at 26% N2. So I'm not sure. And I've had, like, the issue list on my end gets a little smaller every time I reinstall it. But I'm getting a little tired of reinstalling it. And I'm going to restart the sim. Like, I've been going through this good portion of the day. And I just can never get these fuel pumps to turn on. Sometimes when I turn on the battery, none of the lights turn on. Like, for instance, like, when I say none of the lights, I mean, like, no low oil pressure, low pressure on the hydraulics, no low pressures here. No, like, if I do the APU light test, these don't light up. So, it's, all that stuff is working for me now, or even, yeah, let's say I would turn up the panel brightness, nothing would happen. All that stuff's working for me now, but the engines won't start. And I think it must have something to do with these fuel pumps not working. Anyways, so I'll leave it there. Hopefully the devs can fix it. And also fix this. This has been a constant issue for me. On some reinstalls, it'll be this green. It won't have the white. It'll be this green, but it's still flickering way too much. Other than that, I mean, this thing, I don't really know what to say about it. But anyways, hopefully those issues can be fixed.